this is Nancy, and I wanted to do a response to Katey Flowers' recent challenge about your top 10 decks that you would take with you if all your other decks were gone, kind of thing. And so here we go. I have to choose. I don't know that there's an order here, but I'll go through them and tell you why each one would be special to me. This is the Mid-centurion tarot, and I like this one because it is very simple, easy to read, very RWS, big bold images and numbers and so forth. The backs are like this, and of course I will have the creators and links to get the decks down below. Mid-centurion, mid-20th century, 1950s look to it from Madame Clara, and I like the simplicity. I like the big bold numbers here, so I can really tell that's the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, that's an extra card. That's probably the other extra card. But it just is a fun, graphical, big, bold colors. Kind of when you don't want to be stressed trying to figure out all the symbolism or trying to read the text and that kind of thing. It's, you know, there's a Four of Cups. It's very clear to me what that is. The deck is... the one thing I'd say about it, if I had to pick a negative, and I don't have to, but it's very white flesh tones through most of the deck. There isn't a lot of color diversity, but on the other hand, there are blue people and gray people and pure white people instead of white flesh tones. But it is not a terribly diverse deck, but that's okay. There's different decks for different things. But I just really find this one simple, clear, and I like it for that. I like having a deck like that. So that's the Mid-centurion. In a similar way, for the Marseille style deck, I love the Tarot de Celie. It is a tin deck, and get the tin open. Beautiful backs to it, but I love the colors. The colors are gorgeous in this deck. The art is fun and pretty. Again, for a Marseille pip style deck, very clear to me, you know, that's strength. Very clear to me what these cards are, but they're also very unique and very interesting. That's a very interesting death card to me. So you know, as a Marseille style deck, it's not only fun and colorful, but it's portable. I mean, I could take this deck anywhere and have fun with it. And it's got that antique-y look. Small cards, so they fit well in my hands. And, you know, so for those reasons, I think this is one that I would hang on to. So, Tarot de Celie. And that's 2. The next one is a deck I got relatively early on, and you know, I know if you guys have watched any of my channel, you've seen these decks before, and I've exclaimed about these decks. But this is the Guardian Tarot. It is a beautiful deck. It was one that introduced me to the fact that tarot could be not traditional RWS, that it could use art in very different ways. These people are all sort of tree people, but the colors and the art are fascinating. And, you know, challenge you a bit if you're learning tarot to say, you know, what does that card mean? But generally speaking, I think it stays pretty true. And look at that. I mean, it's just wonderful, beautiful art. So I would have this deck with me because I love the art. I love the challenge to you to really kind of follow what's going on in this world that the artist has created and how it maps to tarot. So that's the Guardian Tarot. Okay, another Marseille deck that, excuse me, I love is the Tarot des I can never say it, Tarot des Zorks. It's a Marseille style deck. The creator says it's not really Marseille, but it does have a real Marseille pip style to it. There's the moon. Again, I love the art. The art is so interesting and, you know, does really follow traditional systems. Is that upside down? Can't tell because it's backwards in the camera and upside down. You know, you can figure it out. There are cups, something I can tell if it's upside down or right side up. And the colors, and look at that tower. Wow. It's just a fun deck to look at. It's a Marseille style deck. So, you know, I like having a mixture. I'm not great with Marseille. I'm probably not great with RWS. But it's really, I love the art. You know, I love the art in this deck. And so that's one I would keep with me. I'm forgiving the backs, which I don't like at all. But it's that one. Okay, one that's more recent. Again, if you've watched any of my channel, you've seen all of these, but obviously you show the ones you really like, is the Inkwich Tarot. See the backs? Upside down. A nice, gentle palette, hand-drawn. So it kind of is a different art aesthetic to pull in. A different color palette where I've shown you a few very bright colored ones. This one is softer. I like that. The images are very nice and, you know, in some cases, it make you think a little bit. You know, I think the artist has sort of suggested different interpretations of some of these cards, or just different slants on the way you interpret them. So the Inkwich Tarot is one that I really love and would totally have with me. Okay. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're halfway there, guys. Excuse me. This next one, I think, will not come as a surprise to some of you. I love the Painted Tarot by Sophie McKay Knight. And these are the backs and the fronts. I think they are absolutely gorgeous artwork. They are a little larger cards, more like oracle style. But I think they leave a lot to the imagination, a lot to the intuition. They're not as detailed as some of them, as strict to RWS as some decks. But I just get a feel from this art. Now that I know enough about tarot to be able to say what that card is, they let me go from the feel of the card. And I like that. So that's the painted tarot. Love that. Love that deck. Okay, we're getting down there. Got two that both my husband gave me, and I love them. Not just because he gave them to me, but, you know, we have sentimental value. One is the Terra Noir, another Marseille-style deck. And it's so elegant. The color scheme is so beautiful. Now, I wish the creator would put this out in a tarot size matte deck. It's large, it's really large. I'm gonna grab more traditional tarot size and show you. This is a large card. Beyond oracle sized, and it's glossy, and so I would love it in a tarot sized deck with matte finish. It would be awesome. The borders don't bother me much because I think they frame the art nicely, but the expressions on the people's faces, the flowing fabric of their costumes is just beautiful. And the pips are elegant without being busy, you know, they're just simple, elegant pips. So the Terra Noir is one I would have to keep with me if I sailed off to a desert island somewhere with 10 decks in my possession. Down to the last two. This one, again, my husband gave to me. This is the upside down Corte de Peroki, an Il Meneghello deck, and it's just, you've seen it on many channels, you've seen it on my channel. It is a sort of modern interpretation of Marseille. It's not even strictly traditional Marseille, but it's close. It's on an art paper, so it's not something I flip through too often because I don't want to damage it. It is tall and thin, and I love the shape of it. It has beautiful sort of autumnal colors. And these are the backs. And just, it's a beautiful, nice deck, nice colors, nice art, and beautiful paper, and just the craftsmanship of it. I think being Il Meneghello, they do such a nice job with their decks, and so it is a treasure for me. It's not one I would read with very often because it's art paper and I don't want to damage it. It's just, when I first got it, I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. You know, just touching it, it felt beautiful. So that is the Corte de Peroki, which I love. And finally, a deck that by Silicon Way. Everyone loves Shimmering Veil. I love the Intuitive Tarot by Silicon Way. Shimmering Veil is nice, but this has sort of an Art Deco feel to it. Much easier to read for me than Shimmering Veil because it's got more of the symbolism and the imagery that I'm used to. Very clear font and telling you what. In Shimmering Veil, one of the things that bothers me is that it's got like little symbols down here. It's hard for me to read what each card is, and it's more abstract. But the Intuitive Tarot, gorgeous art. Again, to me, it's a very Art Deco feel to it, which I love. The colors are beautiful. I just find that a beautiful Four of Cups. Five of Wands. It's just so stylized and wonderful. You know, I think when I first got this, if there is such a thing as a soul deck, I was like, this is my soul deck. I can read it and it's beautiful and fascinating what's going on in there, what the artist is saying about this card. So, the Intuitive Tarot by Celie Conway is the last of my 10. I think I got 10 in there. Yep. Okay, so that's my response to Katey Flowers and the 10 decks I would take with me if I couldn't have any others. It gives me a nice variety of art styles and systems with Marseille and RWS. I've never really been able to get into Thoth too much, so I didn't include, I have a few Thoth decks, but didn't include that. So those are the ones I liked. So thank you for visiting, and thank you, Katey, for the challenge. And you guys take care.